Yet there are powerful forces in Washington trying to sabotage our movement. These are bad people. These are very, very bad and evil people. They know who they are. These are the people who made their money, their names, their careers, their power off the corrupt and broken system, and they liked it the other way. So they will do anything at any time, and they'll never stop. But you know what? We're stopping them. You're seeing that right now. You're seeing that right now. We're stopping them. It's corrupt, it's rigged, and we're stopping them. They will lie and leak and smear because they don't want to accept the results of an election where we won by a landslide.
Concurrently, one thing I've learned about these men is they don't just do one thing. In case the public discovers what they're doing, or discovers that somebody's doing, whether they know who's really doing it or not, and stops it. What they have running is several concurrently running plans so that if one or two fail, the other ones are going to take care of the problem.
It sounds pretty hopeless. I mean, based on that scenario, is there anything, any uprising or what?
Yeah, there is, but it requires that people wake up. It requires that they really learn the truth instead of live their life in fantasy land. You see, because nothing can exist without the consent of the people. Unless they buy it, it's not going to happen. And all of these plans lead to the public's ultimate acceptance of what they're going to do. In fact, they're designed to make the public ask for it. For instance, the burning of the rainforest in Brazil. I know people who are just up in arms. Stop this. We've got to stop the burning of the rainforest, which is exactly what the burning of the rainforest is designed to do. Because Brazil is a sovereign nation, right? How can you tell a sovereign nation to stop burning its own forest? You can't. What they're asking for is control over a sovereign nation by a world governing body who can then send troops, a police force, to make Brazil stop burning the rainforest, and that's why they started the burning of the rainforest in the first place.
And I'm so happy to be back with the Patriots. I'm Michael. This is the Patriot.
Right. Nice little intro there. Several plans concurrently running at the same time. Yeah, I believe that. Why wouldn't you? All right. Whenever you have a plan A, sometimes you have a plan B. And not only that, you know, from maybe the bad actors, you can have another plan going on with Patriots. Anyway, here to join me tonight is Ben. We always love it when Ben's on. He's here tonight. We're going to get into just a few, well, it's kind of open night, but I do have a few things I wanted to bring up to you guys' attention, which is, fake news. Trump even said it yesterday. Fake news coming around. When are they going to come around? They should have come around a long time ago. He won in 2016. But, and he actually used the words, fake news needs to come around or they're going to drop like a slug. And he named off every one of them. All right, without further ado, we got Ben here. Let's just jump right on into it. It's Sunday. We're both kind of, so end of a long weekend. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing wonderful, wonderful, man. It was a pleasure to be here, brother. Pleasure to be here. Yeah, it's been crazy weekend for the both of us, but obviously keeping up with some crazy fake news for sure, man. It seems like it's coming around again. I'm seeing a lot of people in the chats basically just saying everything from Red October, it's coming, it's hitting. It's the year of the boomerang. I mean, it's some pretty crazy stuff happening.
Yeah, no, great. We have about 907, almost 1,000 in the room. So welcome all Patriots. If you're new, make sure you're subscribed. Returning Patriots, welcome back. We got Ben on my left here, or I guess your right if you're looking at the TV.
Right.
Yes, you guys, we thank you for being here tonight. We're just going to jump into a few different things I wanted to bring up and just right away. What do you think about kind of what Bill Cooper said, I guess? These evil people all throughout time and history have always had a concurrent plan in case something went awry with the first one. I mean, nothing ever goes right in a big master plan lie anyway, does it?
Well, we know every operation has ever been done, good or bad, is always fluid. You always have contingencies. You always, we always say, victory favors preparation. So in any type of operation or a mission or anything, you always prepare for, there's going to the Murphy's Law, of course, FUBAR, it all plays in. So you got to have plan A, B, C, and D. And we're seeing these guys roll through their playbook and now go back again, kind of like, there's been so many crazy storms named after the Greek gods, and then it's the Greek alphabet. Then there's just so many. They're just going back again. This is Katrina 2.0. Oh, okay, now we're using that scale to identify yet another thing that's concurrent. So yes, we do see a breakdown in their concurrent plan that they've had all this time. They're scrambling. And
it's moves and counter moves, isn't it? Kind of like, I mean, any good person, you guys, or bad side, bad people, they plan good. They research. They sometimes take stuff out of the military playbooks, or you got ex-military part of it. I mean, you just,
Yes.
foreign governments and stuff, the same thing. I mean, what are these criminal, crime families? How do they rise to the top? Well, not by being stupid. By any means. So it was funny because I was a CNN reporter interviewing Bill Cooper. It must have been in the 80s or something. You could tell by the quality. But anyway, the phone rings at one point in that 2-hour interview. But he said, "This sounds pretty hopeless what you're describing here." Bill Cooper's, "Oh yeah, it is."
For the individual, yes.
Unless the people wake up. That's what he brought that up, so that's why we're here, folks, trying to help wake up. And all that is there's always the mainstream talking points, the mainstream narrative. Don't we see that time and time again? I mean, at an event, for example, Ben, like 9/11 or Oklahoma City, you have the people there that are working, like the people there, and then something happens, so boom, bomb goes off. The people were there. They come in day out. So they report to the media that then shows up. But then you have the government that comes in. They're probably the last ones there, supposedly, right? And it seems like, I know there's an investigative thing, but you should always listen to the people there first. And they've even covered that. We seen it in 9/11 with that Harley Davidson guy. He comes running out. What does he do? He gives the whole narrative away and all the keywords like, then I watched the whole thing. The plane came ramming through and blah, 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 and big explosion.
The towers failed, obviously, because of structural failure.
Because of the hot jet fuel. He said jet fuel, melting beams, and that was the narrative for the next year and a half.
Yes.
If you said anything else to anyone else, they're like, no. And they'll use those words at you. And you're like, melting still, jet fuel, planes fall, or, buildings fall in their own footprint.
Everything you learned in your, 6th grade science class about what metals are and why we have such strong metals now versus the ones that were made 1,000 years ago.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So we know, I got pulled up here too, some executive orders back from, you remember the one from December 21st of 2017, don't you?
Oh, it's a powerful one. We're talking, has to do with, persons involved with serious human rights abuses and or corruption. I like to use a little "and" because a lot of times corruption goes hand in hand with human rights abuse. But this was early on. And people say, well, Mike, this was so long ago. That was 2017. That's long ago. Why is it relevant now?
Well, the media is trying to say that we're latching on to, we know it's entailed in human rights. I mean, that's trafficking and all the, save the children, man, and just humans and all in general. But, we've reported on this extensively. I remember going over this one, a few other things, and then some military tribunal upgrades that happened at the time.
They now have the death penalty for is now in military tribe, or some of the other. They're now doing federal executions A lot of things have happened. This is the biggest one, and I know what you're saying. Where we're getting this narrative that they're saying a lot of these people are latching on and using words that would really conjure up an image of a child holding on to his mother for comfort, for warmth, or these come coddle me. But the reality is if this doesn't make you pissed off that there's people actually doing this, an online child exploitation in the United States, if this doesn't make you mad and you're somehow saying we're trying to latch onto this, then you don't want to see me in the light of day. People like you that aren't for this kind of stuff,
and these people attacking information, it's like they're, when they attack something, and it's not just the mainstream's doing it, and then all along we've had other truthers doing it. Ones that didn't, like, they were out there trying to seek the truth, didn't quite believe in this information, so then they would spend lots and lots of time attacking others that did. And that's our whole thing here. What we've always said: look at everything you want, read everything you can, believe none of it until you can verify. So that was our pitch from day one, and it still holds true, because it's you got to look at a lot of things. What do we talk about in the intelligence communities when you're trying to get information? You look at lots of conversations, if you're horned in on a certain country and you're getting all emails and text messages, oh my gosh, you're going to read a whole bunch of garbage.
Well,
you've got to put it together.
Yeah, you need, what does any type of intelligence agency or operation or organization do? They try to get first-person information, first-person data, who, what, when, where, or why, from the boots on the ground. That's the most critical. We've all seen Hollywood dramatize this, but they say, oh, well, we got bad intel, then we got this and that, right? But the reality is we do need good intel, and we know that the false news, pushing their false narratives, you can push through that. Like Mike and I have said, don't believe what we say here, do your own research. However, if I'm watching CNN because I like watching different newscasts, different these things to see what's going on, what are they trying to push, like what should I be doing opposite? If they're telling me that the local airport's on fire, that very well may be true, but they're leaving out the fact that it was people who, it was arson. It was started on fire. And so this is the variables you have to look through, and there's so many of them, you guys, with everything that's coming out. Mike and I all the time in garage talk like, did you hear this? This is happening. This is happening, and for others, it's like, well, that's just normal. But I mean, if you have the eyes to see, it's not like every little thing you see, that's what he's doing. It's the back end. We're not basing our opinions off just hearsay. I mean, it's
or one source. We look at so
evidence,
much. We look at D-class. We even look at the mainstream. When a lot of people, oh nope, I've cut the cable and I don't look at them anymore. I don't get it at all. And probably for some people that's better. Yes. But if you're heavily into the research, you need to see. I have to watch some Chris Cuomo. Do you think I like to watch Chris Cuomo? I do that for you guys.
when you start hearing the same 3 or 4 words in a sentence from Chris, from all these other different people in the mainstream fake news, you start saying, their handlers are trying to push an idea. Thus, that's we come to you guys and like, check it out, you guys. There is a narrative going around. They're trying to push on you that frogs fly. Okay, so let me just tell you right now, I got some out here that can't. Okay,
I just got the Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton tweet from a twit, but the twit, their Twitter account, and they gave out a shout out to the president. Exact same message from both of them, like on the 3rd of October yesterday at some point.
Okay.
Hers had a gap at the last little chunk of thing, she said, to give it like a space. His didn't. But other than that, 100% the exact same. So you think these people are tweeting?
And we put this extra space in there so the algae don't pick it up as the exact same.
They have no control over their Twitter, I'm telling you. I don't know what that was pretty.
But another thing that I know why you guys come here, and it's like Mike and I say this a lot as well, is the fact that you know what you get when you come here. This is what we believe to be true. We're not lying to you guys, and there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
A lot of times you see look at these Twitter accounts or these people twitting and do this kind of stuff, and there's all this social media. You don't know who these people are on the other end of these devices. You have no idea if it's a robot, or if it's a little tiny virtual bot saying something. I mean, you guys, they have a lot of people fooled to think that their news is the only news. And most people don't even know what the word news, how we originally got the word news to describe information that happened around us on a local and national level. And I don't know if you remember, I mean, we're old enough to know what the news means, right? North, east, west, south.
Yeah.
It was the idea that I could give you like the squire in the town square yelling and saying, hey,
You yell it 4 ways.
I just came. Yeah,
You
that's
used
where
to
the
yell it
news
4
came.
ways. Other than that, and this is something else that boggles people's minds is, by the way, I haven't asked, is everything 5 of 5 with you guys? Sound good levels? You
Yeah,
hearing
we
us
got
good?
window
I'm
on.
turned down a little bit tonight. I'm just kicking back. I don't even have lights on. I'm
Yeah.
getting lights when I get it to a white page. But other than that, I got a little couple of neon lights. I'm having a good time. Got about 1,500 in the room. Welcome to the Patriot Hour. We're just discussing.
Yes.
I was getting ready to get into this one. This is a good one. Kumo, out of New York, the mayor, right? The older brother of Fredo, Corleone, or whatever it was. He hates that. That's all. He denies causing the 6,500 people that died in the nursing homes when he created that order. And he's just now like coming out. I mean, it's pretty astonishing. It never happened, he says. Kumo denies causing and the order did just that. But the push was unclear on them. And the order was like that. So let me see if we can get into a.
Is this yet another oops? You guys are fudging the numbers and.
So he just won't let up on his nursing home deceptions. Even his minions refuse to share the true COVID death total, a figure plainly inflated by his health czar March 25th order that homes admit patients with the virus. He's still pitching the lies. Asked by a radio host over this last week on Friday, I believe, about families who blame the order of their loved ones on him now. And that's just incorrect and untrue, and frankly, it's mean. He said the situation never came to be. So now he's saying that he did order that. He came out and said it, but they never ended up doing it. They just never needed it. But the numbers are saying otherwise. So, but the push was on them.
Jeez.
Let me see here. And the order did just that. Team Kumo's own July report back in July admitted that more than 6,300 recovering COVID patients got sent to nursing homes. 58 nursing homes didn't have a single case of the virus in residents or staff before the arrival. And he's blaming it on people that work there coming in and out.
So beforehand, he was blaming it on the people, the actual patients, and those in the home.
He said it was visitors coming to visit people brought it in, and the workers going home, and not whatever, everything other than
praising people, the
his
staff who are working hard through this, and we can do it together. And it's the staff people. I mean, talking about he'll throw anybody under the bus. He'll eat his own.
Yeah.
Even though we don't know how many he has, by the way. You don't know if he's got 6, 9, 10.
Well,
12,
I mean, can't he be held? I mean, if some of these governors did some crazy stuff like that, I don't know. It's just like,
I believe we covered some of this stuff in early. This was like I would say maybe in 18 or 19, where there was another body of law. I believe they talked about it that has to deal with aiding and abetting the enemy war. Doing things that are contradictory to the Constitution in time of war, creating seditious behavior and acts, promoting violence. What about the executive order contributing to terroristic organizations?
having ties to like China or something.
So we have all these things in play, and we're starting to see who's with who's on what side. So we are seeing a lot of interesting things come out of these newscasts, who's with who, trade deals, things like this. People coming inflating numbers. I think he's the only person who did this, inflated numbers, and they're inflated. Then he's blaming the staff. Now he's blaming the visitors. What's next? He's going to start blaming those who didn't wear masks in their car and at home, because that home air got with him to the work.
In bed, in the bath, in the shower, things like that.
I mean, swimming, underwater, diving, scuba diving, got to put a mask on a mask. This is insanity.
It's no ends to his lies. This guy just wants to get out of getting in trouble, is what it is. He's putting the blame on everybody but himself. But their numbers were the worst. It was
This just goes to show you guys that they can't even get their own lies projected correctly. I mean, come on now. If you're gonna lie, at least get all your numbers right. This is a classic case of they're lying to you. How do we know that? It's provable right here. In the age of technology, we have videos. We have documentation. This is no way. Like, well, he's changing his words now to make it favorable. Yes, a politician will do some politicking and lying, and he'll be picking
licking in the politicking.
Licking and conniving.
Let's just look at some headlines. Joe Biden promotes 18-month-old babies becoming transgenders.
It's child abuse. Child abuse.
Anthony Fauci, the most despised con man on the planet, is being hailed by Time magazine as one of the most influential. See how this works.
Well, he did influence a lot of people. Some say Hitler was very influenced, kind of a person as well.
What's that? DOJ.
DOJ charges 106 billion healthcare fraud bust. Let's see what we got going on.
Doomsday plans did that one. If Democrats take the House and Congress in November, it'll be over for the Republican Party.
It'll be over for the American people. We, the people, will become we, the comrades of the state of Washington, D.C. Pfizer. The Pfizer executive says that the Corona and Lyme pandemic is over, so-called second wave. Of course, the former CEO of Pfizer, the largest company domestically besides Bayer, which I think they own Bayer too, right?
I think so.
In the second round. Remember we told you guys this? We does not influenza have a bi-yearly cycle? And in the years I've been on God's created earth, I've seen those around me and myself, rarity, have gotten sick in those time frames out of the year.
I
And you're
just
gonna say round two? Come on, you guys.
well,
This
it was Don Lemon. He's like, "There's gonna be a round two. There's gonna be a round two. You just watch. You just watch. It's gonna come." I'd say right around October 3rd or so. I mean, he would make threats that clear, and you're like, "Whoa, this guy is really calling
He
it."
must know the exact date and time, and when the sun is projected at a certain angle in the sky. That's when it's gonna happen. I mean, this is too
Man.
canny. He knows this kind of information.
And all I'm seeing out there was no such thing as a fact checking going on all these social media sites until Trump got in office. Like, there's never been such a thing. All of a sudden now they're acting like it's just so bad. It's like, no, your guys' narrative ain't sticking no more. And everything I read, it's like one doctor or one firm, and it talks about who's all like great people, and they say this don't work, like mask, and then the local news or the Twitters will block that and give you something else, and you'll go and it'll just be some other article, and they point to their doctors that say it is.
It's a classic case of marketing. I mean, if I'm going to be trying to sell toothpaste, I don't want my local plumber guy to tell me about how good it makes his teeth whiten. I'm gonna go shop up some dentists and give him a year's supply of my toothpaste for a commercial. Why? He gonna support my toothpaste, and if I do that, I'm gonna say 4 out of 5 dentists. You guys, haven't we done a vote on it? How many times have you voted? Aren't we not?
We're the number one live show on
We're
YouTube.
the number one voted channel
Going to our
on
last
all of
poll.
YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
We literally polled from a select group of individuals across the nation, and we've decided unanimously
Through the world.
It's wizards spells, and they're trying to
word
weave
porn.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. And so if you can't see it, that's why with shows like today, we're bouncing off. We're showing you guys a second wave. Of course there's one coming. If you didn't think it wasn't, then you're not really aware of what's happening around you. They've already told you in the first wave there's going to be another one. Be prepared, like the first time. I'm getting literature from my boys. They're their educational system, saying that we are being prepared for a possible second wave, and we're doing all that we can. And it's hilarious to see a lot of the school districts and what they're trying to do. And we know that a lot of public works at a state level really fall under these governors. And even my own, this is, we talked about this offline, and all you guys who are watching, but if you don't know, I live in the state of Michigan, and our governor is just, in my opinion, off the rails, totally wacky. And in my opinion, she's acting like a communist. And so
doing it quite well.
I have some other people in our Michigan Senate that happen to agree with my opinion, and took her to court, and we found that yes, all her quote unquote lockdown proclamations and orders, whatever you want to call them, babble, I call them, where they're not in line with Michigan's constitution, which we know that every state's constitution has to be, and we know it for a fact, in line, parallel, and in concert with the original constitution that states this. So it was another big win for, at least for us today.
Huge win.
We're seeing all these governors doing and mayors just doing some shady things, like this is not right. This doesn't even feel right. You have no idea what's going on, and they're getting called out. So
yeah, no. And there's been lots I can call out, lots of governors have done the right thing, but like Ben just said, we've seen it now, folks. Haven't you always heard the narrative? It was going to be the federal government coming in, the military boot up your ass. No, it looks like it's your local state governors. They're the ones willing to break the laws and do all these crazy things and help bankrupt their state and think they're going to get some kind of federal bailout, but yet if you're treasonous, you don't have the right. There could be states that lose some of their electoral college over this, like some of their actual numbers because of arrest or they're treasonous, and
they find out the real numbers and the real amount of representatives you actually need or responsible for having. So what are we watching here, Mike? What do we got going on here?
There was Trump actually supposedly leaving. I say supposed, but he left Walter Reed and drove by. But let's see here, because there's some. So what does go to Trump right there? It looks like I got blocked from Kuma. Let me go back to there. Did I hurt his feelings?
He did. I think you did hurt his feelings.
Oh, my God. Nope, I'm not. There he is.
No.
I'm following him, see?
See that? We want to see all the
we're
lies.
We're good buddies.
Last night, he mistakenly said that Chief Justice, blah, blah, blah.
It's the only time he'll come out and say, see, we cover for,
See, he never says I. We need
look at that. 2 hours ago, your brother lied and killed all them people in the nursing homes. Even your loser network fact checked, and he has called him a liar. How do you feel about that? He should just get ready for that 8x8 cell. Justice, bud. Justice,
bud.
Screw these people, man. Screw them.
Oh,
I'm tired of
finding out what these people are doing that is not good. Not good.
Right here, look at this. Newt Gingrich, 8 seconds ago. Governor Cuomo shows lack of leadership in his denial of nursing home deaths.
Well, I guess Newt agrees with us as well. You guys,
he's probably watching the show. Welcome to the show, Newt.
Newt, we love you. But,
give us a little shout out next time you do a little post like that, buddy. That's hilarious. Joni Job, trust Joe. This face mask is more guaranteed to protect me against COVID than a vaccine. I just say vote for Trump.
He's not
vote
a
for
Biden
Trump.
very well, is he?
Even COVID chose Trump. I'm just joking. That's bad.
Man, it's hilarious. And Joe,
Look, Joe Biden, then he held the mask up again and said, this face mask is more guaranteed to protect me against COVID than a vaccine.
As he holds it up, not wearing it, therefore it's an oxymoron. Do you guys just understand?
As he holds it up.
It's like saying,
as he holds it up.
As he's not
wearing it.
Trying to use it to
Where's that picture?
brainwash you. as he held the mask up. He said, "This thing," like it's some precious, holy thing, a piece of cloth. I have some cloth. I can
The
hold
crowd
it
started
around.
chanting, "Put it on, put it on."
Put it on. Make it work. Do you see, you guys? He tells you to wear a mask while he has his off and he's waving it above his head. Don't be monkey see, monkey do now. That's what he thinks you are. And we all know y'all are not. I mean, we have nothing but awesome patriots, real patriots here watching right now. Trump does have better coverage than Verizon.
It's hilarious. That's hilarious. There's something wrong with the BBC, but I can't work out what it is. Benjamin Thomas pleaded to 40 offenses over 30 years, mainly teenage boys. Filled a flight.
Coveted BBC.
Aish. All right, so I want to go to... Got sidetracked to go to Kumo.
Sorry. Wait.
So anyway, earlier we kind of covered this one here, where it's clearly moving.
Yeah, this is a fun one because this gets to do a little bit of IT and a little bit of investigation.
If I just put my mouse right here at the edge of that, I'll just leave it there. I'm not touching it. Look at that.
Isn't that interesting? Either the cameraman has a case of brown bottle sickness, and he's trying to get through a bender from the weekend, or that is either on a vessel of some sort that is moving, and the cameraman can't quite keep his balance.
I'll put it to the tassel.
You guys see what's happening there? Yes, look at. He's not moving it. You see, it's a gentle,
I'm trying to
rocking. I mean, who knows if it's a plane? Yeah, I mean,
Well, you just look at the folders. Everyone says too, down at the bottom, but I have the ticker in the way. But put it this way, it's. I don't know if you'd have a camera guy, and plus,
it's just interesting, y'all. You can get a better tripod and camera at Walmart and shoot the president, and you get it not sway up and down.
Well, that's the only video I've ever seen one sway up and down. Let me tell you that.
Yes. On the water, watch the water. Is he on a vessel? Is he on the plane? I mean, it's interesting. I'm seeing a lot
trying
of
to
guys
see that
say,
reflection.
"Don't rock the boat, Admiral Trump," and
Do reflections break NatSec? Security protocol. No.
yeah, you won't be able to see anything on the reflection. They're aware of the dualism of how you can see the mirror image, especially on
Or on the
video. You
knobs.
can stop
See if you see a little cloud float through, or
a little something, little side. Maybe he's yawing the vessel this way. So
I
he's
just
gonna
would
see-
doubt that somebody would hold a camera for them. You'd think they'd have the tripod or some kind of gimbal. Something's going on there.
And it looks like that it is pretty like still, except for the little every once in a great while little motion or a little something. And hey, it could be a gimbal correcting itself, trying to make it look as level as possible. But I mean, hey, we don't have anything rolling on the table. It's an interesting anomaly, you should say, for the president of the United States of America, who's got.
Could it be autofocus?
He should.
That
not
would be
have
forward
that
and back, though,
ability.
not up and down, right? Or
Yeah, but not only that, you guys, are you serious? This guy has access to like the best military, the best technology. Don't you think there's some type of
they don't have a
tripod
Walmart
camera?
tripod.
I mean, come on now, guys.
But if you used a
interesting.
normal tripod, would you get that effect? Let's talk about that, like the science. So if you had, your normal, because if I'm swaying on a ship, and we all know I was, in the Navy for quite a few years, we used to, like I was telling Ben, we used to have a a piece of rope or a good string, heavy duty, like, hemp cloth or hemp rope or something real thin, and have it to a pretty heavy bolt. And once we get to moving and swaying, that would tink, tink, and we know once it started hitting the wall that we're hitting heavy waves.
Yeah, like an old-fashioned plumb bob is what you're talking about.
Yes.
If you have a tripod on a rocking vessel, the whole room itself, you wouldn't see that unless it panned out to the window and you had something that was not rocking as a reference on the video to show.
Yeah, because
it's rocking.
Unless the tripod falls over, it should be
falls over, exactly. So if there's a tripod, so
it was more like a gimbal that was trying to keep zero center.
Maybe the guy had a chest rig up and it was one of them chest cameras. I mean, there's so many different things it could be, but I mean, we're just pointing out the anomaly. We're not saying what it is. We're just saying it's there, and that's not normal.
What about body doubles? Well, I got into that a little bit last night. The body doubles do exist. We know that for centuries.
Every major, they've been using body doubles for thousands of years.
We know Queen of England has one now. She's we know Saddam had several, right?
Several.
And it's like, only those kind of people do it,
Well, we don't know. I mean, the reality is we have no idea the amount of technology they have now, and I'm not going to. This episode's not going in that direction, but we know that espionage and spying, and if Hollywood can
world leaders and elites,
like somebody else, I mean, they have the technology now to make somebody look like somebody else a whole bunch, even if they kind of did. From just look at, like I said, Hollywood and their production and their makeup and we know they got live CGI, live editing right there, live broadcast editing software. So, I mean, if we can really be honest, I mean, I could be in a moving semi truck and I have a set of
You're
all
in the
this
back of it right now.
You guys don't know that. You guys just see what my camera allows you to see. And obviously I am telling the truth. This is my home. Obviously, it's like, I mean, this is my stuff. But my point is made of the fact that you only see what the camera lets you see. And Hollywood and those people who are in the entertainment to entertain the mind, they understand that. That's why you see these sitcoms and it's really shot in these huge warehouses and then a little tiny platform that
Set
shows a half cut out of a house or a set. Yeah, so we don't really know, honestly, what's happening behind the scenes. We never will. But what we're doing here is trying to give you a logical breakdown of what they're showing us to see what's happening. Yes, we know that he's quote unquote he's tested positive. I personally think that everybody's got their own virus because your body creates them, but that's neither here nor there. That's just my personal opinion. However, we're going to see how the mainstream,
it's just a mainstream narrative right now too,
reacting from him saying this and him doing this. Do we know there's another game afoot?
Well, we know that Trump came out and said he was doing fine. His doctors came out and gave the update live that he was fine. But then you had CNN just going with their narrative that he's not, and then he shouldn't leave, and he's probably really sick. And I sat there and heard it all weekend. Lots of stuff on the social medias coming out, folks. And that's, it's kind of crazy that's how they work it. So never, don't listen to the fake news too much. You can tune in, but you don't have to believe it. That's the big thing to remember.
What are the old 60s, plug in, tune out, or whatever,
Yeah, whatever. Tune in, tune out, man. Or
tune in,
tune out, tune in, tune out. Something like that.
I know somebody in the chat's gonna say it. You know how I do it, right?
I think that was like,
but you tune in, but you don't turn off.
I think that was like LSD or something.
You stay on, man.
That was Tim Leary or something, man. Tune in,
exactly.
Tune out, man.
He was an asset of the federal government.
CNN sucks. We agree.
Yes.
Hope everyone's doing great tonight. Wow, we got about 2,100 in the room. That's cool. My Stream Deck and my thing are actually synced up for the very first time ever. I've never seen the same numbers. So I'm pretty sure that is, I'm seeing 2094. How awesome. Nice. Everyone give this video a like on your, if you can.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is where we have our vote,
Yeah.
Is this where we like to be at right now? Well, of course it is. So see how it works.
It's
If
a
we can
great
just show you a
Sunday.
little bit of how the soup is cooked,
Yes.
then
A
you
little
know
bit of
not to eat it or drink it.
how to bake that, bread
Cookie.
and get your crumbs.
Here you go.
I'm just trying to
just
get you
saw
to
it
get
right
your crumbs, people. Your crumbs. By the way, if you like the flag there you're seeing, we have those on the website, thepatriothour.com. That's who our sponsor is, by the way.
The good painter told me, he says, here's how this goes. It says, tune in, turn on, and drop out.
There it
That's
is.
what the old.
Tune
Okay,
in,
nice. Thank you. The good
turn
painters
on, drop it out.
and drop out.
Drop
I'm
out,
like,
yeah.
all right, okay. Well, we want you to turn in, turn on, and do not drop out. Keep on fighting. That's what they want you to do, is drop out, and because your silence is an answer. Your silence is consent. You're not doing anything. You are consenting. At the beginning of the show, we showed you guys a couple of executive orders back in 2017 that at the time wasn't really hailed as, oh my gosh, this is a good moral thing that our commander-in-chief is doing. Nobody's, and even times, was very much so downplayed. But then Epstein came out.
Yeah, it was mute. That's why we reported on it. And that's all.
Yes.
As we get attacked more and more, folks, it's like that's what they're coming out now. So they're scared. It's always been that way, even early on, right, Ben? All the articles that we'd show little by little, everyone's like, "Oh, they're really attacking now." They are really attacking now, but and we just cover that. We got it early on. We're going to bring this to the end. We're going to follow this out. And if I saw it to be bad information, anything to be bad, what I don't bring you CNN every day. Why would I? I consider it to be garbage.
We don't bring in the lies. We got to sift it every day. Hey guys, guess what? The next hour is going to be all about these lies we've been looking at all day. It's horrendous. But you ready? We bring you guys what is the meat of what's happening, and that's important, man. That's for sure. Helen Debbie said 1 million rescued in Australia.
That's great.
That's awesome. This is the kind of stuff we're talking about. You have to find the booms. There's going to be no ribbon cutting ceremony saying that, look at people are going away in pretty bracelets in the form of handcuffs. If it's out there, somebody's reporting on it. It's just not the mainstream. And that's where you get a lot of little good nuggets of truth of what's happening. I mean, literally, things are happening in Germany right now. Paris is looking like it's going to start getting more crazy again. I mean, remember the whole yellow vest protests, and they were burning stuff, and it was going crazy, and all these leaders of these countries are finding out to be shills, and gas prices and all this crazy stuff because of tariffs that we're causing. And it's just, everybody forgets all that, but that's coming back around again as well with this other wave that Chris Cuomo told us about that's going to be coming again. And Don Lemon was like, it will be here October the 4th at 2:00, for a second it's coming.
Yeah, he kind of predicts it down to the T.
Which is amazing. It's and then you have the guy running for president holding his mask and waving it for all to see, saying that this is your savior. This is your Messiah. This is better than anything. This thing right here. But yet he's not wearing it. I mean, these people cannot contain their lies. They can't keep him in line anymore. And everybody, they're losing people by the millions every day. When he's holding it up, and the guy's like, wait a minute, that doesn't seem right. Shouldn't you be wearing one and then holding another one up? Like,
yeah.
So it is.
Well, that Chris Cuomo, the one on TV over at CNN, about a month ago, I showed a video where he was like, with all this rioting going on, he's like, you don't need to look to the guy above, he's like, it's within you. And it's just like, oh, there you go, man. This guy, they're just evil, and it's starting to come out more prevalent than ever. I'm done with them all. I don't listen to these people. I tap in so I can help combat their crap, but man, it's
I observe their information, but I don't ingest it.
I observe it. It's like looking at a salad bar with all the different crap, but you don't eat it all. You kind of look at it, you observe it. If you're, on a diet, you can look but don't eat, So yeah, be careful out there, folks. There's it's a sea of lies. We know that. And that's why we try to, we're going to ramp it up with a couple more live shows, definitely before the elections and stuff. I'm going to at least try to go twice a week. I meant to, last week was pretty much, what it was. It's a lot of information coming down. A lot of information. So Trump's EO, we got over everything. I just don't agree with the media that not we personally, but like, I guess maybe they're pushing to the movement that how are they getting the middle-aged woman out of Wisconsin involved with this other narrative that they're losing control of people, keep them brainwashed. And they're saying that, well, they hijacked, the kid movement. And it's like, no, we've always been talking about the kid movement.
Yeah, our nation
we are
is
the kid
rallying around, like you said, the mom from Wisconsin, the cab driver from Philly, and the farmer out in Nebraska. They're all starting to want the same thing. Like, you know how powerful that is? Why they're attacking it. It's because the wife from Minnesota and the farmer from Nebraska and the cop in New York and the cab driver in Philly all want the same thing. Doesn't matter where they come from, what they look like, what they eat. They all want peace, and they all want to have their families, and they want their children to be able to play in the streets and on the sidewalks, of course. But you know what I'm saying? They all want peace. And so this is for the first time. What is usually, when I call them the deep state, whatever they are, they usually want our worship. They want us to do whatever they tell us to do. For the first time, their control is breaking. And the person from middle America to the East Coast to the West Coast are all starting to see that we got way off track. And it takes something like this to jar us back on track. Like, if you're not for saving the children, then I don't think you should be living. I mean,
well, and that's it. It's not that we hijack the. We've done that from the get-go, and we cover a vast. Anyway, let's just. What else? Like as far as the kid movement, then they're. What else do they have? That they kind of try to say that people are latching on to. I'm trying to think what else is a good one.
Well, they're always trying to hit up our Second Amendment. They're always trying to tear down.
Did we hijack the riot? Because we were talking about riots 2 years ago, trying to get everyone ready. Like there's riots being planned in mass amounts, and here it is. COVID comes. During the COVID, riots start happening. The big talk is white supremacy, not actually what's causing the riots, because it's not whites. It's an issue. Trump has actually done that right by coming out and saying we're going to deem KKK a terrorist organization or whatever, the domestic terrorist. Why has nobody else ever done that? Same thing with like these EOs, or having a war on human trafficking, declaring. So we talk about the three things that he might have done since he's been in that December 21st one, declared a national emergency, put us into that state. We know we've been at war since 9/11. Yep. If he does the Insurrection Act, because of all the rioting and the lack of governors being governors, letting their cities burn, there's people dying. We talked about, you said there'd be people dying. Well, there are people dying. Lots of people have just died through this COVID.
What about the whole CHOP, that whole CHOP area, the whole city that went to no cops? How many people died during that whole 3 weeks, right? So people did die. No, there has been deaths all along these whole time riots. They're just not really pushing.
So if he does the insurrection right before possibly the election, doesn't mean anything other than like the day before or whatever, they say that he'd be in the clear to have a leg to stand on with the courts on any of these states that have governors. That if we know, he keeps saying we have it all. Trump's like, we got it all on tape. He keeps saying tape. I take that to, I don't know, but it's like, what are they? You know, what are they going to do? Like, you know, if you got ties to foreign government like China or whatever, and these states have sold their people out,
Yes.
that needs to be dealt with. And that requires, like, you know, not shame on you. You know, don't do that again. That's not what we're looking for here.
Well, the old idea of, you know, fool me once, shame, you know, shame on me, okay, whatever, or shame on you, you know, fool me twice, it's shame on me, man, because it's like, you know, I'm not going to get fooled twice. I'm not going to, we hold our commander-in-chief to a lot higher standards than I did the former commander-in-chief and the former one before that.
And the one before that, and the one before that even.
And the one before we can keep
our
on
lifetime,
going.
I guess, you know, paying attention. But what do you think
would agree with
about the election? You know, do you think the riots that are already out there now, we know the military moved around in early April. We were all witnessing that. All the video coming in. We know people. We've talked to people. We got people in other states that we talk to as well. And we know that, you know, and people are like, oh, you don't need tanks to fight a virus. But then the riots start. Now, whether he wins by a landslide November 3rd, the riots start, or is it, you know, Trump wins that day, then over the next week or two, the ballots of the very few that actually voted but that way come in, and it
I think it's gonna be crazier either way, if he wins or if he loses. It's like if he wins, and the left is gonna take him to court for fraud. If he loses, they take them back to court for fraud. So whatever happens is gonna
what
be a
about the
debacle.
rioting?
Well, I think the rioting came a little bit earlier than anticipated on the playlist. I was kind of thinking that they were going to play this whole Corona and Lime thing out a little bit
Well, and
longer.
it's still going. So
and
no
it's still
mayor,
going, don't get
they
me wrong,
won
right,
it, right?
yeah.
They lit the fires in their own cities, the mayors. They've
And
played
they're gonna
into
hope it
this,
goes
and they're
all
letting
the
it
way to
go.
election.
There's no shutting it down beforehand unless Trump does it with the military.
And what they're trying to do, you guys, there is some really obscure constitutional laws that were actually added in for very reasons, to where if a percentage of the public can't get to a vote, there's something happening. There is these obscure laws. Mike and I haven't really gotten into them because it's never happened before. And like the last time it did come close was like, you know, Lincoln, and of course, you know, now he got off sooner than anticipated. So a lot of these things have never really needed to be enacted before. There are multiple levels of law, not just civil, not just criminal, not just federal. There's laws while at war.
There's emergency powers to the president.
Yes, there's emergency
powers that get vested to him during
Time of war.
and he's like
There are all
declared
kinds of
2
stuff,
out of the
national
3 so far.
emergencies. Yes.
So you only need one
So
more
there's
switch.
a lot that can happen, and so we're standing by. When something kind of hot hits and it's going around, you know, we're not going to be like Snopes and be like, this is false 100%. No, you're going to get our experience, our knowledge, our research time, because we're going to research a little bit of what's going on before we come to you guys. So that's always kind of the good thing for us is, you know something when you can teach it to somebody else. And Mike and I are past that stage, and we're rock and rolling with you guys. And it's been a wild ride, and don't think that it's at all over. I mean, the next 4 years, it's not going to ever go back to the way it was. People have been scarred for life to wear masks, and there is such a division right now in our nation, and it's a false division. It's been stimulated. It's been pre-planned. It's been premeditated for us to be divided and not get pissed off about our local sheriff who's not doing his job or her job, and really holding them to the key. And if our governor does something, holding him or her to the letter of the law and saying, no, this is not going to happen. I will say this: in this best apocalypse ever, I have discovered how many businesses are technically public businesses. There's only one airport in all of America that's a private airport. All airports are public.
Wow.
People don't get that. I mean, I had no idea. I was like, this is interesting. Who owns all the airports? Because, you know, It's public. So yeah, it's just so interesting how much information you start to realize, the freedom that we freely give up because we don't understand what's happening around us. Or there's no guide that says, hey, look at this or look into that. And so that's why I enjoy coming here with all you guys watching. I mean, I've seen all the mods face. I'm seeing everybody from across the pond right now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's amazing to be able to share this information with you guys.
And it's actually that time we're gonna shut her down, but
Ooh.
yeah, great final thing. I as well as you, just like you said, there's certain things in our Constitution or certain obscure laws that we have both dug into in the 3 years of this coming up on 3 years in February.
Close.
But we've been doing the research for many, many years. But on the show publicly, we have delved into some things that I've even been impressed that we've learned or went over in little, I didn't read that so right the last time I read it 3 years ago, and I did read that because sometimes, but now something's going on in real world that applies to these things because they're actually getting enacted. Like I said, folks, there's 2 of the 3 things. If he does the insurrection, it's all, I mean, it's almost to the point where how much longer do these cities burn? It's been going on a couple of months.
There's only so much at our fuel left for the fire to feed on before we get elected. And then it's just, then what? We all start to, it's a house of cards. We know it's a house of cards. It's coming down. It's all false. For the key players are going to be exposed. And a lot of these people can't walk on the streets anymore because of what they've done and what they've done to we the people. And it's clear. We always say
they've stacked the stage in these cities with rioters and looters already, and they're trying to keep them there. The mayors aren't arresting them. It's like some kind of stand down order, and they're gonna what? Like after Trump wins, they're gonna tell them, or they're already out there mad anyway, so they'll just trash it. Wow.
We see this happening all over, you guys. Well, like Mike said, give a shout out for where you're from. Where you watching from? I know we got lots of Patriots from across the pond, all over America. Neighbors to the north. It's Rawhide. It is. I would agree with you. Got a little bit of Wisconsin in the house. The streets will no longer be safe for them, Eric Gore. I agree with you. Little digital soldier.
WG1 from Wisconsin. The end of evil. Yes, Sherry. Jimmy Ford. Amen.
From Cali.
Santa surfing.
Yeah, I love it. No man.
HRC.
Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan.
In Massachusetts. South Florida. Idaho. Man, you guys, this is awesome. And everywhere. Big Bear. Oh, this
Nebraska,
is
New
Philly,
England, Wisconsin,
England,
Maine, Missouri, St. Louis, Tampa, Florida,
Myrtle Beach,
Dubai,
Canada. We got you, Arkansas, Alabama.
California.
By the way, I'm praying for you guys out in Alabama and all your coast. I know that you got another crazy hurricane coming and hitting you guys in about a week. So
yes, we want to send prayers out to everybody.
Brandon and his family out there. We're praying for you. We got all you guys coming from Utah, Oklahoma, Rhode Island. Oh my God!
Say some prayers for a couple of our mods, all the mods, all the time. But 2 of them specifically, you guys know who you are. You guys get well and just stay well, stay healthy. But all the mods, all the Patriots worldwide. Lori M.
Tucson, Arizona. We got Georgia,
Florida,
Texas, Alberta.
Hawaii. Wow, they're all over. Contacts it.
Fort Wayne. Indiana, South Dakota,
North Dakota,
Jacksonville. This is everywhere. Louisiana,
Mars,
Deep South.
Check in from Texas. Mars, man.
Hi-oh. The UK, what's up? North Dakota, Kansas, Illinois, the Bayou.
Praying for the mods at face. Texas in the house.
Texas. You got the UK watching. New Zealand, what up? You got Chi-Town. Shirakistan's always in the house. What up? Little Texas. Mendocino, Cali. Philly. A little bit of Antarctica.
Indiana, New Zealand. East Providence. Massachusetts. U.S. Army, Paul Revere's horse Bucky. Texas.
New York. Miami,
New York, big city of dreams. North Kakalaki in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Gulf Coast. We were all like Florida. Terry from Merrifield.
Don't forget Iowa.
Rhode Island. Shenandoah Valley, Virginia.
Oh, there you go.
Dollywood up in here. Illinois.
Silicon Valley.
Arizona.
We will, Mr. Joe Wilson. We will stay strong for you guys. You got the Yucca Valley, California, Texas, San Antonio, Germany. What's up? Love our Deutschland Patriots.
Checking in from Epstein Island, I see.
What? George Kroll, what you doing there? What up, Silver Wolf? We always love our local Patriots, you guys. It's awesome.
Silver Wolf, I want to give a big
Canada Taxi Kid, Australia.
Happy
Vegas.
birthday to Silver Wolf. It was his birthday.
Oh, dude, happy birthday, brother.
Can we get everyone in the room to do a happy birthday, Silver Wolf, real quick? It would make his day.
And if it's your birthday as well, give a shout out.
You.
This is Bull.
Email me. We'll get back to you. You have to fill out a few papers, and then we can get that done. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, yeah. You got the,
thank you, guys.
The Ozarks, England, Kiowa Falls, 1772. We have you guys from everywhere. Come on.
Oh, whoops. There you go. I was trying to get that back on. Yeah, they're checking in from everywhere. There it is. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Pets and dead
Everybody
people for Biden.
Hi from South Wales. We got Vancouver.
Birthday. Happy birthday, Silver Wolf.
Birthday. What's up?
Boom.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom.
All the mods, you guys are amazing. It's just great just to be in here, man. Just to talk to you guys and see where you guys are coming in from. You got Virginia Beach, all this kind of stuff, man. You guys are everywhere, and look at all the happy birthdays.
Puff out those candles there.
There you go. Yeah, make
puff,
sure you
puff those candles.
don't you.
Happy birthday, brother. We'll see you soon. He is going to be helping with our event at the Legion. Again, check out the patriothour.com. Get yourself some we got some
koozies,
nice
and
koozies,
coasters, all kinds of good stuff.
And, don't be surprised if you order a shirt and see one of these thrown in there sometimes. I mean, we do.
It's always a little extra something for
Mike Magnet. We appreciate it. Yeah, let's do it again here this week sometime. We're gonna be. I'm looking into.
Love you, Las Vegas.
That's what I needed to write down. Phone call.
See, we even at the very end. We want to get our call-ins gonna be a little more crisp, and that's a little something we have to do in the back channel. More IT work for you guys. Just so you guys know, we want to get the call-ins more on top so you can hear. There's a clearer connection. Everything else we're doing right now is taking the next level, and so this is the next little project we're gonna be getting on top of.
More stable. All right, well, brother, we'll call this one a night. We'll see you back here on the next one. We'll look at a date here coming up this week.
Yes, no, thank you so much for having me on. God bless you and your family. All you guys watching right now, it was amazing. And just stay strong, man. Stay strong. Know what the truth is, because you know, and you know it in your heart. The truth has a certain frequency, and it's really hard to stop it. And you know what the truth is. It feels right. You know it's right. And if you feel something that's wrong, step away, run away.
That's right. All right, folks, we're gonna wrap this one up. Again, I'll leave you with: never take what we say to hear to be 100% word, fact, or truth. Do your own research. Come to your own conclusions based off all the facts, all the D-class, all the information you can take in. Watch everybody you want. Listen to everything you can. Read all the articles. Watch your favorite channels. Believe none of it until you can verify. Yeah, the bad, evil ones give off bad vibrations. When you feel that, when you hear that, run the other way. You put on your full armor of God. Carry that with you. All right, we're going to wrap this one up. It was a great live show. All the people from all over. Look at the Patriots just from all over the country, all over the world. Unbelievable. It's great to have been here with you. Thank you for being here. Make sure you are subscribed when we go live or put out any other informational videos for you. We want to make sure you get those alerts. So, all right. Thank you so much, and have a great evening.